just after 5:30. Would you look at that sunset? That is beautiful, but I'm trying to still get some wood cut. They're calling for snow this week, so I'm gonna try to split a little bit in the dark. I wish that this splitter had some kind of lighting system that would help us keep going even when it's dark. It's actually not a bad idea. So there's some motion lights that'll come on and light this up a bit. After they're on for like 5 minutes, they go out and then they don't come back on right away. So a lot of times you're splitting in the dark, even when I do have lights out here. I need some kind of different solution. I should come up with a custom lighting system. You know what? I think I'm gonna call Dad and stick him on this. Come on, light. There we go. All right, let's customize this splitter so I can use it whenever I want, regardless of whether it's light out or not. That seems to make the most sense. Plus it'll be fun.
Dig Dry DIY.
Or what we're gonna be doing is adding some lights to the splitter here. Now, as it goes, when I consulted Dad on this project, we started we started thinking about ways that we can mount a light bar on top and affix some lights. And right away I started thinking complicated, overcomplicated. I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna weld a bracket, I'm gonna make it quick attach, and it's gonna be fold down so that you can transport it. And the more I got to thinking about it, the more I realized that sometimes we overthink it and we could just go for a more simple approach. I looked at that cylinder. It'd be nice if we had something that we could just attach to that that's round. Then it occurred to me, could use a muffler clamp, and then just one thing led to another. But Dad is here because he's an electrician. And the consultant. And we're gonna see if we can kind of put together a simplified light rack on this thing. The whole theme here is to not be overly complicated.
Yeah.
The tools you're gonna need are fairly basic hand tools, maybe aside from a drill. Later on, this is gonna get a little bit more custom and you might have to have a welder and a cutoff saw, but this part of it you could do without. You could do part of this with just basic hand tools and basic stuff that you can pick up at any home supply store.
Bernie always used to tell me that when you was making something for somebody, you'd think about the design they like and then you wind up doing it the way you want it. So this is going to change several times before we get to the end.
Oh, I'm sure. So we're going to drill out that hole and widen that hole there. So I have this bit here that's supposed to be, this is normally for a die grinder, but I'm going to stick it in the drill and see if I can waller out this hole a little bit. Deburr the holes. 3.5 inch muffler clamp. It'd look good if it were on top, but then you got the cord coming out of it.
Yeah.
So should we try the new hacksaw?
I don't care.
Got this for Christmas from Santa.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah. Nice. Can mount our box to that. There, we're about to use those holes right there.
Yeah, but see, them don't go all the way through, unless we took them all the way through.
I got some self-tappers. Self-tappers are one of the best things to have on hand, I think. Just need 2 of them, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Kara reorganized this whole thing. All right, so we're getting there. So this project is going to be a combination of old and new materials. This piece of angle iron's new, the electrical box is new. This cord, on the other hand, I saved it because probably one of the ends went bad, and I've never thrown an electrical cord like this away. You probably haven't either, have you?
No, I got quite an arrangement of them. Different colors.
I picked this one because it's orange. Dad wanted to keep everything orange themed. That cord cap's shot anyway, huh? All right, so we'll change out that cord cap. This one matches the splitter a little better anyway. You're gonna need some wire nuts?
Yep. We're gonna need some pieces of wire too.
You want just Romex?
I just need to make jumpers to go between the...
Right. Kind of a little different animal, isn't it?
They make all different kinds of them. There we go. go.
Okay, so we'll do a little electrical review here so these are Kleins. They're Klein brand, and a lot of electricians will say grab the Kleins.
Otherwise, they call them side cutters.
Side cutters. Okay, what do you call these?
Dikes.
I call these dikes or side cutters. This is the kind of strippers you get with the cheapy kits that you buy with all the connectors, and they're typically not great. I prefer the strippers to be up at the top, and that's probably what you prefer too, right?
That's what
Most
I've
of your-
always used.
Dad just likes the little kind that have the little holes in them to bend those are to bend the wires over.
Yeah.
Like this, you put it in there and bend the wires.
A lot of people don't realize that's what the holes are for.
Yeah. Scotch locks. I've grown up calling these Scotch locks because that's a brand. It's like Kleenex for facial tissue. These are wire nuts, but Scotch makes a good one. Good brand, Scotch locks. So Dad always calls them Scotch locks.
There is a right and wrong way to hook up an outlet. The silver colored side is always what they call the neutral side, or the white wire. And the brass colored side is always what they use for the hot wire, which is usually the black. Of course, you got the bare wires, which are the ground on the green.
That's the only one that's easy to remember. Green ground. There's gaskets in there too that make it waterproof. Time for
Smoke test.
smoke test. Okay, we'll put some lights on there. There's probably 100 different ways and 100 different combinations of lights and the way you can do this electrical. And this is just the way we chose to do it because this was the most convenient. Amazon is full of choices for LED lights and fixtures. I always err to what's the most convenient for you. Menards is our closest big home supply store. And you can go up there and you can look at the lights, you can turn them on and you can see what they do. And so that's what we chose. These happen to be 5,000 lumen work lights. Let's see, it says they're not waterproof, but they're water resistant, I think. So this isn't meant to be outside all the time. You know, I'm not gonna keep this splitter outdoors. So if you decide to do something like this, and it doesn't have to be a wood splitter, you can add lights like this to anything, but choose what works best for your situation. And the other thing is if these fail, where we have to return them or get more, we can just go to our local Menards. I like to cut these zip ties off flush. So I use a razor blade. I make a zip tie tool, I have one, but it doesn't cut very well anymore. So we knew that this wasn't going to be a good option to take up and down the road, and that's why I wanted it easily removable. So now the clamp can stay on, and this makes it our quick attach feature here. Let's go ahead and get this mounted up there. Goes like that. So 2 nuts with a 9/16 gear wrench, and you can mount this on and off. Well, they're mounted. I'm worried about it being too shaky now. So when I'm working close to the barn, I should be able to just plug it in.
Smoke test number 1. Nothing.
Oh! What do we think? Got some shade back here. We'll probably light it up pretty good though. I don't know about the flopping. I think it's gonna be too much strobe effect. It wouldn't be that hard to get another piece of angle iron and just... Okay, so we got to drill some holes in this now to match up what we had up there. So that's about 3 15/16 is the space between those studs on that muffler clamp. It's heavier. It's not 100% rigid, but it ain't near as... The flop that's in it now is the light mounts themselves. Yeah, you can give her a test. Oh yeah. That's nice. It's good and bright right here. Now there's light in front. So I have an idea for what we can do when we can't plug this into the wall of the shop. Just gonna take a little more welding. Cutting these at an angle is a real pain in the butt. I wish I had a better chop saw or a band saw that I could cut 45s on. 16 5/8. All right, I got my little accessory built there and primered. I primered it last night. Like I said, I hate painting inside my shop, but I will paint a little bit. I'm gonna put the door up, paint so the fumes kind of blow outside. So this is just a can of paint that my dad had in his shop. It's not too bad of a match. All right, well finally my almost matching paint jobs are dry. It's time to go see how this is all gonna come together. And it's good and dark like usual, so no problem there. It's good and cold too. This is pretty close to the right color. From a distance you're not gonna be able to tell. And now what will give me total independence. I can cut wherever I want. Well, this is that EcoFlow solar power station that I got last summer, and I'm always trying to come up with clever ways to use it. And when I decided I wanted to try to do this, I thought this would be a great way to have lights for hours on end. We can take it anywhere this way, and I don't have to have it plugged into a tractor. I don't have to try to run some battery thing off of here. This will work great. Well, I think it'll work great. The only thing left is to try it out, I guess. Okay, we're gonna head out here where it's nice and dark. I got some spectators now. I had to see the show. Okay, it's good and dark. I said it's good and dark. Hopefully the camera can hear me. Pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that ought to work.
Now we can just pull the splitter out for parties and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. Nice, yeah, that's plenty bright. Might have to get some dull paint put on there so it don't reflect so bad.
To wear sunglasses. Kind of nice that you can shut that off and you still got lights, you know. Well, what do you think?
I think plenty of light.
Yeah, this is going to work good. Does this pass the test?
Yeah, it does.
Thanks for helping me do it.
I'm ready to move it to the woods and just leave it there.
Well, you're not dressed for this. You got company over trying to play cards. You better go back to that.
Well, I had to be here for the premiere.
Yeah. Premiere showing now. It's time to pack it up. I'm going to fill that basket though, because we'll be gone. We're going to be in Texas next week, so you may not see us, but Dad's going to keep the stove full, right?
That's the plan.
I hope so. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it, and if I'm lucky, we'll see you in the next one. Okay, I'm going to finish this up.
Okay.
You guys don't look like you're dressed to split wood.
I'm not.